Minsu and Sonjin were sitting together watching television when Sonjin noticed that she seemed distracted and upset. Concerned, he gently pulled her into his arms, trying to comfort her. He reminded her not to worry too much about the situation involving Kim, reassuring her that staying away from the matter was the best way to protect themselves and their family. Minsu nodded in agreement, expressing hope that everything would eventually work out and that Kim would receive the justice she deserved. Sonjin echoed her sentiment, adding that his main priority was for them to raise their child in peace and avoid anything that could put their safety at risk. They had worked hard to build the life they now had, and he didn't want anything to threaten that. As they sat there cuddled up on the couch, the doorbell suddenly rang. Minsu turned to him and asked if he was expecting anyone. Sonjin shook his head, equally puzzled. He stood up and walked toward the door to see who it was. When he opened it, to his surprise and confusion, Kim's father was standing there, still dressed in his pajamas and looking visibly restless. Sonjin, taken aback by the unexpected visit, asked him if everything was okay and what had brought him there at that hour. Kim's father urgently requested to speak with him, saying it was about his daughter, Kim. Sonjin initially tried to decline, pointing out that it was late and not an appropriate time to visit someone's home unannounced. But Kim's father looked at him with pleading eyes, saying that something Sonjin had said the last time they spoke had been weighing heavily on his mind. He added that he had been trying to reach Sonjin with no success and that he had no other choice but to come in person. Glancing briefly at his watch, Sonjin repeated that the matter could have been handled during the day. Kim's father apologized sincerely and explained that the situation was urgent. He gestured toward his van parked outside and said that inside it was his dog, dead. This statement only confused Sonjin further, prompting him to question what the death of a dog had to do with the situation. Kim's father, his voice laced with desperation, explained that the dog had been poisoned and that the poison was intended for him. He claimed the dog had eaten the food first, food that had been served to him by his wife, and died shortly afterward. He believed that if the dog hadn't taken the first bite, he would have ended up like Kim. The realization had shaken him to the core. He pleaded with Sonjin, saying that time was running out and that he needed to hear everything that happened the day Minsu was pushed. He stressed that he needed every single detail. He revealed that he strongly suspected his wife had something to do with Kim's death, but lacked the concrete evidence to prove it. The only people who could help him now, he said, were Sonjin and his wife. Sonjin stood frozen in place, caught between his promise to avoid anything that could endanger his family and the reality that the very thing he was trying to avoid was now at his doorstep.